Hi everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me today. This is Jonna with Purple Girl Crafts. Today we are going to be making this center pop-up card. You may have seen this style before. This one's a little different. If you push down just a little bit more, it will reveal a 3-panel pop-up and it will be displayed like this. This card requires no die cuts and it measures about 5 by 6 when complete. So you could make it a little bit taller if you wanted. Let's just get started. I'm going to grab my scoreboard, and the first piece we need is 10 by 5. Mine shows 6, but cut it to 5. We're going to score this at 1 inch, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. So just like that. Next, we will need one piece. This is cut at 9 by 6. I'm going to flip this over just to make it easier. We're going to score this at 3 and 6. This piece of paper is a little bit thicker, so I did a little bit deeper. Turn it on the 6-inch side, and we're going to put a mark at 2 1/8 inch on each end. And that will be for a cutting guide in just a few minutes. Next, we will need 4 pieces, and these will be cut at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So we're done with our scoreboard for right now. So we're going to take our base piece and we're just going to fold all of those score marks. So just going to fold it and crease it out, and we're going to do them all in the same direction. So this will be the base, and this is what it'll look like when it's done. We're going to take this piece and we are going to fold it in the center. Just fold it in half. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a 1-inch mark from each end, just a small pencil mark, just as a guide. So just like that. What we're going to do is we're going to cut a slit on either side of this fold. And I'm going to use my trimmer. You can use a knife if you want to, but I'm going to use my trimmer. So I'm going to line it up just on the left side of the score line. And then I'm going to cut it from that 1 inch at the bottom to the 1 inch at the top. And I'm going to take my paper, I'm going to move it to the other side. So I'm going to cut it on the right side of the fold, and just a small, almost 1/8 of an inch, and do the same thing. Now, if you have thicker paper, you might want to do it just a little bit thicker because you want to make sure that centerpiece will slide through there. I'm going to grab my knife, and then I'm just going to cut those 2 ends off. And this will give me my centerpiece that I need. And then go ahead and just erase your pencil marks if you have any. And that will be the centerpiece for the card. So we do need a couple more pieces for this. So we will need 2 pieces, and these are 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then we'll need 2 pieces. These are 3/4 of an inch by 4 3/4. And those will be for that top piece on top of that piece we just did. So we'll grab that piece again, and we'll lay out these pieces. And I'm just going to lay these out and make sure I've got them lined up. So they're going to go, the 2 smaller ones next to that cut we did, and the bigger ones will be next to that. You don't need them on the other ones because those will be tucked in and you won't see anything on them. And I'm just making sure these are going the same direction and look good. I'm going to grab my glue. And I'm just going to glue all 4 of these down. Just making sure I've got an even border all the way around. Next, we're going to take the other piece and we're going to crease out those folds. You're going to fold them going inward to the center. And then you want to make sure that those are straight and that they're even. And just give it a good crease. And this will be for the center panel of the card. So now where we did those two little dashes, we're going to grab our trimmer and we're going to cut from the mark up to that first score mark. And then from the score line to the end of the card. So you're just going to cut 2 slits in there, and that's it. And this is what we will end up with. We are going to keep these on here because it adds stability to the card, so we're not going to cut those away. And then this piece will fit inside that slit and sit just like that when the card is together. And that's what makes your little panel on the top. Before we put the panel on, we're going to decorate the panel itself. So we're going to take those 4 pieces that we cut. I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit off screen here. I just see that. And we're just going to glue these down. I'm going to put 3 on the inside, and then the last one will be for the front. So that will be the inside panels. I'm going to grab my 2 birds. So we're going to put 1 on each side. And then I'm going to put my Happy Valentine's Day. And right now I'm just kind of laying it out, seeing where I want it. I like those better in the middle. I've got some hearts that I'm going to add. I've got bigger ones and smaller ones. So I'm just going to lay these out and see. I might change it up as I start laying things down. So this will be how the center of the card looks. So I'm going to glue these down. I'm just using my bone folder just to make sure that it's tight on there. And then adding my little hearts on the sides. And then for the Happy Valentine's Day, I decided I wanted to round the corners. So I'm going to round all the corners on these 3 pieces. Just gives it just a cleaner look. And then I'll glue all of those down. I'm going to making sure that they are centered. And then I'll place some hearts around. And I'll do just a couple more hearts just around the edges. That's enough for now on there. So when you close the card, you won't see them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 extra panels and we're just going to fold them in. So I'm going to fold them going each way. So that one will be the back one. I'm just making sure it's glued down. And then I'll glue the other one just laid down on the front and flat. And again, this just adds stability to the card so that it won't be as flimsy. All right, so that is the piece that will go in the center of the card. So we're going to work on that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in. So just close it up. And you're just going to put it through the underside of the card and through that slit. Now you do want to make sure if you're doing any embellishments that you watch so that it doesn't get stuck on the card. But we haven't done that part yet, so we should be okay for right now. So you're going to lay that last flap in. And then you're going to lay that piece on top. Now I like to stand it up and just make sure that it is flat and straight. Once I have that, you're going to put glue on that piece. Now you can put glue on the whole thing, but then it would stick. So just put it on that piece for now. And then just close it. Making sure it's lined up. And then we're going to open it back up and we're going to put glue on the other flap and then close it down. So we're going to glue this one. I'm going to use actually my other glue, just like in case I need to move it a little bit. And then just hold it and then just close it flat on itself. And then I'm just making sure that the edges are even. and then just push up that glue. Now when you fold it down and push it backwards, you'll see it will stay. And actually with it cutting like that, it'll help the card to stay open too. So that is the inside of the card. So I'm going to work on the front. So I'm going to close this back. Mine is a little thicker. I should have cut my strip just a little bit wider, but it'll be okay. We're going to decorate the front. So I had cut that extra panel. We're not going to use that. I'm going to draw a line just so I know how far down I can go, because if you put anything below, then sometimes it will get caught when you open and close the card. So I decided to just cut the strip a little bit bigger for my sentiment. I'm going to lay this at an angle. Now it's okay if it sticks out over the top because the card is only 6 inches high, so you'll have that extra inch if you put it in a 5x7 envelope. I'm going to erase my pencil mark. And then for the last bit of the card, I'm just going to add some extra hearts to the front. I'm going to put one up on top here because I like the way that looks. And again, it can stick out because it's going to be longer than, or it's going to fit the envelope. I'm going to put a double one on the back, so when the card is open, you won't see that piece of white sticking out from the sentiment. You'll just see the heart. So that looks good just like that. Good, making sure it's even. And then I'm just going to add just a few more hearts just around the front. I've got punched out a bunch of them. And I like to put my stuff in a little container so that I don't lose my pieces as I'm crafting. And you can put as many or as few on here as you want. And then I'm going to put just a couple, one on the very bottom on the front. Well, let's put it right about here. And I'll put a couple more next to it, just to draw your eye to the bottom of the card. And then we'll put 1 or 2 or 3 just on the front of the card here. All right, so that is it. That is the card that I made, or we made. I want to thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Until next time, happy crafting, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye-bye.